أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is I'm continuing the same discourse. That discourse will have no end. Whole life I can keep on discussing it. I'm just concentrating on very basic aspects of Holy Quran. That is what Quran Al-Azim, Quran Al-Majid, claims to give us. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala planned to make us, by giving us guidance, what sort of personality the Holy Quran, eventually builds for us, or we build. First of all, the Holy Quran is a book of beautiful conduct, khulq, ikhlaq wal adab, the fundamental, best thing. Because Holy Prophet said, Allah sent me to complete the proper conduct, khulqun azim. Allah says in Holy Quran, indeed, He is upon ala khulqun azim. Azim means the greatest, degree of noble conduct. Rasulullah is, Allah says, follow him. He is an example for you. In nutshell, this is what Holy Quran, tells us to follow Muhammad Rasulullah as the best example for us, because his conduct, his morality, his behavior is greatest above all. Azim, azam. So that is what Holy Quran brings us to realize. Holy Quran is Nur contained in a book between these two. It is in the book form, and when people ask Sayyida Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha about Rasulullah Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam's behavior and how he lived, she said, Rasulullah sallam is Al-Quranun Natiq, walking, talking, living Quran. So Allah made things easy for us. In case those people who couldn't understand Holy Quran, only they had to follow him. And Allah gave him the best behavior. In this, Allah Ta'ala tells us that under all circumstances, you should follow taqwa and tawheed and tawakkul. Under all circumstances, you must rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you must follow taqwa, adopt taqwa. As I told you, muttaqi or muttaqiyah are those people who avoid even doubtful things. Forbidden and allowed things are very clear, but muttaqeen are those who even don't touch those things from which arouse suspicion. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us promise when He says you must depend upon Him under all circumstances. On the other hand, He says, whatever is between heaven and earth, whatever crawls and walks, that things, provisions are upon Allah. Allah Ta'ala has taken responsibility to provide means of sustenance, provision, whatever is between heaven and earth. So, don't worry about it. Only follow guidance. Allah gives you promise, and that in Surah Talaq. In Surah Talaq, ayah number 3, Ayah number 2, it's a part of وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. And Allah says, it is the beginning and end of the second ayah, Surah Talaq, 28 part, Surah number 65. وَمَن يَتَقِ اللَّهَ, whosoever, man, actually the word is man, but it will be pronounced as وَمَن. Whosoever followed, whoever became muttaqi, or became adopted taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a way for him in a difficult situation, give him deliverance from catastrophes and calamities, from such a way. And then وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ, and will provide for him provisions from such quarter for which he has no knowledge. وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ, what is tawakkal? He who put complete trust Allah, upon Allah, ala, فَهُوَ حَسْبَهُ, he is sufficient. Then huwa means he is hasbuh, who is sufficient. إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. Indeed, Allah has he'll complete his work, and indeed Allah has kept everything with measure. So what is this here? Allah says, only become muttaqi, adopt taqwa, follow tawheed. Tawheed is to remember He's always with you, wherever you are. You must become Allah conscious, Allah conscious, Allah wala, Allah conscious. He is with you wherever you are. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. Not only He is with you, وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ, and He sees what you do. Therefore, you are not left alone. Don't fear anybody other than Allah. Only friend, the helper, the comforter between heaven and earth is Allah. And all those who love Allah, who belong to Jamaat of Allah, the community of Allah. Mu'mineen must help each other. It says, Allah says in three things Allah teaches us in Holy Qur'an. Tawheed, as I told you. Allah says, when you go to sleep and cover yourself, He is between you and your thoughts. He says in Surah Qaf, He is nearer to you than your jugular vein. فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. He is within you, don't you know? It will prolong my discourse because I'm carried away by many times, and then people tell me I'm taking too much time. But these are the very basis. Other thing which Holy Quran tells us, Allah tells in the Holy Quran, that whenever you suffer any loss, calamity, remember, it has already been written in the book, the law, the preserved tablet, and whenever you have any benefit, it is also written there. Why did that? So that when you are suffering, you don't blame accident. Oh, if I had not gone that way, if I had not done that way, had I not done it. No, it was already written, part of your destiny, so accept it. Accept it. Don't go around telling people what happened to you. Don't complain to people. If it is that, and if you receive something, bounty, some benefit, thank Allah. But remember, it was already written. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made many things very simple for you to understand. Make your life full of bliss, blessing, happiness and prosperity for you. And in Holy Qur'an, Allah taught us many things which nobody knew before. Allah says in Holy Qur'an about Rasul Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that He teaches you the kitab, the book, reads over you tilawa, He reads over you ayat of Qur'an, and teaches you, and also teach you hikmah, the wisdom, and impart to you that knowledge which you never had before. You have seen the knowledge. Surah Yusuf is the first. For the first time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us the science of interpretation of what we see when we are not physically awake, but we are spiritually seeing things. The material is called dream. Dream means a subjective phenomena which has no value. But what you see during your sleep state, it has relative, it has reality. It is real, but you do not know how to interpret it. The science of interpretation, what you see in the sleep, is a science which is most difficult. And also what you see when you awake, that also need interpretation. Because both are state in which you are seeing things which in fact are not that real. Because when the last hour of stay in this world come and Malakul Maut come, he will touch your shoulder, then the whole thing will just fall apart and you will see the reality, which you don't see now. If you want to know about Tawheed, follow the way of Sufis, not the Saudis. Follow the way. Learn from Ibrahim alayhi salam in Holy Qur'an. Allah gives you, teaches you. When he was being put in what you call, in a catapult for throwing in the fire, angels came, Jibreel came. Ya Hazrat, allow me that I destroy each and every person here. You say, why? Because they're going to throw you in the fire. He said, does my friend knows? He said, yes. Then leave it. Then just, I don't need you. Meaning thereby, Allah is teaching us, when you will become Allah conscious, then you must develop this much conviction, dedication and commitment that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Allah is seeing you, and if any calamity falls upon you, you remain poised. Don't throw yourself at the feet of other people. Don't beg for mercy from others. Remain poised, full of dignity, and say, okay, you do what you like. For me, my Allah is sufficient to protect me and my life and my honor. That is Tawheed. And Taqwa, I told you, avoid all those things. And Tawakkul, all these things only will be possible if you become Allah conscious and I won't say fear, because Allah is the best friend. Allah says, Allah is friend of the mu'mineen. So you don't fear a friend. The word is khawf. Nowhere Allah used the words khawf. He only says, be mindful of Allah's presence. Be mindful of Allah's, commands. Therefore, Holy Quran has many things, many adab. Adab is that you should not touch without wudu. You shouldn't turn your back to Holy Quran. And like Saudis, Wahhabis, who are still doing it, don't throw Holy Quran on the floor. Wallah billah, I'm holding Quran in my hand. I used to pick up Holy Quran from the heap of this garbage. I used to pick up the Surah Yasin, other thing, the Quran, because what they do, they read Holy Quran and leave it on the floor. And the garbage man comes and picks it through it. And then all those who get money from the Saudis, they do the same thing in Pakistan. There's one woman who's paid by the globalist, she teaches, and I sent one staff member of Islamic Post in Islamabad to her madrasa, and she was shocked to see that they were using al-marki, which is alcohol, on Holy Quran, then they would leave it on the ground, on the carpet, and go away. Haza kitab. Where the Holy Companion would hold it and put them against put it, Holy Quran against the chest, Haza kalam Rabbi, this is the words of my Rabb. They would weep with that. Look at these people, the enemy of Quran, enemy of Rasul Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Holy Quran must be honored, given respect. I tell you one incident, that one illiterate, peasant and his wife, rain came and they took shelter in a deserted house. There they found one Holy Quran. Above the door there was some space, and it was about to be drenched with muddy water. They took it and held it in the hand. And when the husband got tired, he would give it to his wife. His wife got it. The whole night almost they kept sitting what they did, but they didn't let the Holy Quran, be smeared by mud or soaked with water. But it was when morning azan was called, rain had stopped, they came out. Both were hafiz of Quran. Both, Allah made them, hafiz, memorized the Holy Quran in one night. Holy Quran is your, light of your life. Don't forget it. Its properties are thousand and thousand. And I will end up, I should stop it now. I will give you one thing. There are 6 ayat called ayat al-Shifa in Holy Quran. You can find them. And people, since Rasulullah time, people used to seek healing from those. And about ayat al-Kursi, Surah Fatiha, Rasulullah said, Fatiha is da kullu marad. Fatiha is a remedy for all the disease except Psalm, death. Read over your patients. People did then and they still do it. People got healed even then and they know. But these people, they made fun of it. There's one person in Lahore, Allah curse him, Ghulam Ahmad Parvez, One is Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, the Marzai's false prophet. This man was Ghulam Ahmad Parvez. His house was next to a Jamia, great Jamia in Golbagh, Lahore. And he would say, the biggest conspiracy in the Quran is that the people believe in healing. I said, what is this? Holy Quran has many properties, many things you can do with it. First, the guidance, and then conduct, your beautiful conduct, and it takes you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. if you follow Holy Qur'an, then the biggest reward is, do you know, I have been telling, I swear, the one who sent down this book, that this is elixir of life. Those who understand it, love it, follow it, and carry out the command, they never die. This is elixir of life. Allah says Himself, وَلَا تَقُولُوا وَمَنْ يُقْتِلَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتٌ بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. Don't call those people who lay down their life that they are finished amwat. Allah never used word death, dead. But they are alive, وَلَكِنْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ, but you have no sense. Simple statement that if you lay down your life for the sake of Allah, you never die. And we meet them. Their bodies are kept intact, absolutely intact, soft, and you touch them, you see the blood. This is not for us, it is everyday routine. That's why hold fast, hold hard, Holy Qur'an and Sunnah of Rasulullah, the way Allah said, as is told, Sayyida Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, that it is, Holy Rasulullah is walking, talking Qur'an, So that I said, a conference was held. It is very important. I'm trying to finish it. Everything what I'm saying so that the message reaches the people whose understanding is limited. I can't say what I should say. I'm not using my terminology, but I have to reach people. In 1975, a conference under WHO was held in Cairo. It was suggested that the psychiatrists have not been able to find any remedy for mental diseases except they themselves fall sick. They should do some research in other, areas of treatment. The conference was being attended by the delegation from Saudi Arabia. The Minister of Religious Affairs, Hussain al-Jazairi, and Director of Mental, Dr. Usama al-Radi, and a few other people, and they said, we will prove that there is a healing in Holy Quran, because in Holy Quran it is written that we send on Holy Quran which has healing. So the other psychiatrists from England, from America, even from they said, you want to take us back 5,000 years ago in the dark ages? Imagine. For them, dark ages. The age when Adam alayhi salam knew how to read and write. Idris alayhi salam, they used to send books and letters on the baked clay. What dark ages they had? Dark ages right now. The darkest age that mankind has ever been through is right now in the Western world, where the society has been totally destroyed. Man is marrying man, woman is marrying woman, people are dying of AIDS, devil is worshipped everywhere, human sacrifices, everything is being done, killing of innocent people in millions and millions being done. This is the darkest age. This is the paganism right now. This world never had such thing before. This is a dark age. Nevertheless, the Saudi accepted the challenge, and they said, we have very great Sheikh Maududi, who actually was a clerk in a school in Saharanpur, and Sheikh Ahmad Sabiel, and Sheikh You know that great their Mufti bin Baz. They said next year you come to Saudi Arabia, we will prove it. So they went back, they asked the Sheikh Ahmad Sabir, Sheikh bin Baz, they Maraf, this promise is there. Well, Ana Maraf, I do not know. You go to Pakistan, ask Sheikh Madudi. So two princes, so-called these Bedouin princes, this government, we had Hashemite were the ruler of this Holy Land Hijaz. It was snatched from us, and one day we'll get it. So they come to Pakistan, Prince Muhammad and another prince, and they go to Madudi, and then Madudi say, oh, I do not know how it is possible. You should go to some Sufi. Then they come to me. Well, I received them. The counselor was with them. I gave a big dinner and everything. And I said, look here, of course, I'm a head of a Qadriya, being descendants of the El-Gillani, the Ghaus al-Azam, but we don't do it, because if we do it, people will only come to us for healing, and we won't be able to guide people. They said, this is not a question. Question is that we have accepted the challenge, now it has to be fulfilled. I said, what about Madudi, whom you gave bricks of gold and millions of reals? What about him? He said, I do not know. This is the extent of his knowledge, and all these people, his followers, who we call themselves Salihin. And Allah said, the Salihin will inherit His word. 60 years have passed, they are still struggling in the street, only becoming agents, of the various agencies. That's what is their worth. I said, okay, I will come for the sake of Allah. Number one, I won't accept any pay. Number two, and all my wishes will be fulfilled regarding the running this research and demonstration. They said, okay, we agree. In short, I went there. They gave me a hospital wing. When I went there, there were very beautiful nurses there from Egypt, from all over the world. These psychiatrists are very corrupt people, perverts, themselves mental patients. 100% they're mental patients. And I said, what these? I don't want these nurses out. So they left. And next day I heard a lot of crying and weeping going on. They said, these are nurses weeping, They had lost their jobs. So I recruited the Bedouins as my male nurses, who were gold tooth here and jobbers, solemn, 6 feet tall. They said, okay, now it's done. So the research demonstration is a very long story. It was done. So this is the book, Psychiatry. This is my ultimate fraud of Friedist, the Quranic psychiatry. And then it is also printed in a second part, the psychiatry, the ultimate fraud, by Dr. Bruce Wiseman. You'll be surprised. This is the page of Al-Nadwa. Insha'Allah, awwal qism al-ilaj bil-Quran fil alam. And you see my picture here. And that is Dr. Samatul Radi, Hussain al-Jazairi, Health Minister. That is success. The success of Quranic psychiatry as reported by the Saudi Arabian government in the Delhi Al-Nadwa. I will read your translation and then I will try to wind up. Unprecedented in medical history, establishment of the first institute of Quranic healing, Healing through the Holy Qur'an has been begun under scientifically controlled conditions for the first time in the world. A complete wing has been established in the Shah Mental Hospital, Taif, where this type of healing is being practiced. This project commenced last month under the supervision of a group of qualified doctors headed by Dr. Samaradi. They heal various conditions through selected verses of the Holy Quran. Dr. Sheikh Mubarik El-Gillani is a physician who has formulated Quranic healing science, which is now called El-Gillani methodology. Dr. Munir Jaber is the assistant general physician, and Professor Abdullah Tuyal controls the investigation development and serves as the project registrar. Mrs. Ilahi Daj is the project nurse. Another group of doctors and nurses are cooperating with the members of this undertaking. Invitation to the Islamic Ulama and Ummah. The healing through the Holy Quran. This was the topic on which Sheikh Saleh bin Lehan lectured last month, where many notables were present. This topic, for the first time, opened way of such scientific investigation. The Honorable Sheikh has removed successfully all the doubt which were raised by some people about this healing. Following the detail of the formation new project laid down a month ago, I was thinking after the lecture that though this type of therapy or healing has been known since the days of Rasulullah, what would be its shape nowadays? Before I could put my question, Dr. Samaradi announced that whosoever participated in the completion of this experiment should cooperate with the medical group to whom it has been assigned. So this, then they say patients suffering from continuous bouts of epilepsy healed through Quranic, methodology. They say, a person suffering from severe bouts of epilepsy for one full month was rendered speechless, nor could he take any food or liquid. He was unable to walk or attend to his own hygiene. With the first treatment of Quranic methodology, he showed immediate improvement. After the second treatment, the patient was able to speak and take meals. Normally, the conventional treatment, the psychiatrist is saying, for such a condition with the use of electric shock and medicine would take up to 1 full year onward. Yet this patient became normal in some weeks' time by the virtue of Allah's might and the effect of wisdom contained in Holy Quran. Clear results were achieved. Experiment conducted on 2 trees. During my visit to Pakistan, I met a friend of mine, Dr. Mubarik El-Gillani, who is a physician of the El-Gillani methodology. He conducted experiment before eyewitness, myself one of them, using 2 plants of the same species in the same soil. Dr. El-Gillani thereby recited verse Holy Quran over one plant and something else over the other plant. The plant over which Holy Quran was recited grew double the size of the other, thing like that. How this began? From 24th to 26th Safar, 1396, Islamic calendar, experimentation commenced in Cairo following an in-depth study at a conference sponsored by the World Health Organization, whereby the significance of Quranic therapy, Quranic healing was recognized. So this is all a case of Quranic madness. Dr. Mubarik El-Gillani received many invitations from other countries and institutions and universities while he was in Pakistan. These invitations were extended with the intent that he would continue his research development abroad. Dr. Osama further elaborated. Dr. Islami, wrote to me regarding going to America and completing experiment there. I instructed him to carry on at the institute in Taif. Don't go to America. He is therefore working solely for Allah's happiness and not taking any fee or salary. A case of chronic madness. What are the state of chronic madness we call schizophrenia, which is still incurable? How can they be best healed? Foremost chronic mental disorder and madness like are subject to relapse if the patient discontinues the therapy or leave with specialized outpatient treatment. In the case of one patient previously diagnosed as insane, Dr. El-Gillani read verses of Holy Quran over him and ordered the patient a dose of medicine to reduce gradually. At present, the patient has shown remarkable improvement and is completely drug-free. The patient has undergone extensive treatment with drug but displayed an insignificant change in his behavior. This again say that he was healed. So this goes on, and then in one very big gathering of the doctors and learner ulama, they recited these poems in this humble servant's honor. عفوا نسيت الآن عالما له في جناح العلاج بالقرآن إمامه للجلاني والقرآن بيمينه بيؤتي بإذن الله مرض أقول السلام. I can't read it here. لكل داء, the Quran, I'm missing the word, is the Al-Quran tutla wa subhana min yuhib al-azama viya rimama. فإذا كان رائد العلاج بالعلم أسامة كان للجلاني للعلاج بالقرآن إماما. I can give you a translation. These were read in a big gathering of the doctors and researchers and the ulama and clerics in. Forgive me, but gone are the scholars who had command over healing with verses from the Holy Quran. Yes, I remember Sheikh Gillani, in whose right hand is the Holy Quran, and he heals with its word. He, Sheikh Gillani, has a Quranic verses for every disease. Almighty Allah is pure of all defects, who gives life to dead bones. Thus, Dr. Usama, with his knowledge, is an expert in healing, but Hazrat Gillani is the Imam of Quranic sciences. By Dr. Rushdi Hassan Mahmoud Misri from Egypt. It was a long, poem. And in Saudi Arabia, they acknowledge with me as the Imam of the Quranic sciences. And this whole book contains the list of the people healed. And then we opened the Quranic methodology, El-Gillani methodology. Our clinics in United States of America revived the dead patients in the hospital went and are still doing it. This is, in a nutshell, I could tell you that whatever is there in Holy Quran is real, and you follow it, and those people who misguide you, keep away from them. Hold fast rope of Allah. Holy Quran is a robe of Allah. One and side Allah hold it, other you hold it. You will never go astray. Allah has promised that those who will follow Holy Quran, they shall inherit. They will be the inheritor of this word, this government. They will be honored in this world and the hereafter. And as I told you, don't show disrespect to Holy Quran. And the right of Quran is that don't ignore it. Read it every day. Tilawa. Try to finish it in 10 days, if not 10, 20 days, but not more than 30 days. But that regular tilawa, you should recite the Surah Muzammal, Surah Yasin, Surah Rahman, Surah Fateh. And these things you should recite every day with Durood Sharif and all things, because these are things which give you success, protect you from all the evils. Surah Yasin is heart of Quran, and the heart of Surah Yasin is Salamun Qawlim Rabbi Rahim. And similarly, Surah Rahman is the beauty of Holy Quran. It's a beautiful frame of the Holy Quran. Read it every day. Therefore, I have to stop it. The time which I've been given, I have overtaken, or not overtaken, much more. I do not know how the editors will do the job. I make dua, Ya Allah, let your message, let the light of the guidance, let your, love for your creation which you have expressed and shown and manifested through Holy Quran and through Rasul reach people open their hearts. Let them know that you are the most merciful Allah, and you sent Holy Messenger as Rahmatan lil Alameen. You know, Ya Rabbi Zal Jalal wal Karam, I simply, humbly supplicate before you that have mercy on the Ummah, Qimri Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and bring better understanding between Muslims and those who seem to love Jesus son of Mary, but actually they have gone astray. Show them the right path. You know, they are very close to us. Ya Rabbi Zal Jalal wal Karam. Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun. Wassalamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma barak ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim. Innaka Hamidun Majid. Ameen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. The time has come that I wind up this brief introduction to Holy Qur'an, which is a manual for you for leading happy, prosperous life here and in the hereafter. As Ali Karamullah just said, anybody who shall find or try to find guidance from other than Qur'an, Allah will break the person's back, meaning thereby that he will be defeated at every level. He will or she will not be able to achieve his or her objective. And I have said a lot, but I won't say it a lot. Holy Qur'an is fathomless ocean of wisdom, guidance, secrets, and all those. It is kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's an ocean which has no end. And Allah says, if He were to write His kalam means His words, if all the seven oceans become ink, and all the trees are turned into pen, still it will not end. So what talk about that? Dear listeners, may Allah open your chest and make you realize that without light of guidance and book of guidance, you will end up in utter failure in this world, like those who are right in front of you, who reject Holy Qur'an, who reject Almighty Allah's existence. See what has happened to them. You just have to see, open your eyes and see what has happened to them. Everything they have in their society has been destroyed. The family unit, the health. I have discussed it. Now, this is a dawah, an invitation for you to understand Holy Qur'an and follow it. In this era, the last age of this world, you are right now in the last era of this world where so much mischief has occurred, and such which has been foretold by the Holy Last Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Your only hope is to hold fast. Robe of Allah, one end He hold, other you should hold. And that is Holy Qur'an. Holy Qur'an means the way of Rasul Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because he, through him, Allah practically demonstrated for us the injunctions and commands of Holy Quran. Therefore, hold fast. Don't do anything against, Allah's command and Rasulullah's as well, because both are the same. And this is, again I say, you need at least few things to know. Because if you read translation, you cannot make out anything. It's not possible to if you have a translation, you must have the commentary with that. Like you see this Holy Quran, 7 volumes there. This Mubarik Quran, you should something like that. But remember, don't buy anything, any book printed by Dar al-Islam. They are all extremist Wahhabis, and they are destroying the real contents of Holy Quran, its interpretation. And these are, this Holy Quran, this 17 volumes here, is all explaining each and every line. Holy Quran, we have 30 volumes. Well, but you have to join some group, be with somebody where they give you, the classes and make you understand. Thing is, by reading translation, you can't make out anything. Nevertheless, if you must understand Quran, it's a command, it's your duty. First of all, you should know Asbab al-Nuzul. Number one, you should know the causes of revelation, which is called Asbab al-Nuzul. Sabab means cause, Asbab is Jama', plural. Nuzul is coming down, sending down. What is the background? What is the story? What is the history of this? And next is similes or similitudes of Quran. This, number 2, which is called Amsal al-Quran. Then third is abrogated and abrogated commands in Quran, which is called Nasakh wal Mansukh. Then you have ambiguous, the Mushabeh ayat in Holy Quran. And then there's properties of Quran, Khawas of Quran, like it has healing, Quran Pak has healing. I've told you about Surah Fatiha property, Ayat al-Kursi, and then Gharaib al-Quran, wonders of Quran. So, for instance, coming to cause of revolutions, many people who did not know, who just had very little knowledge, and then they read Holy Quran in English by Marmaduke Pickthall or Yusuf Ali or anybody without trying to understand their background. They simply say, these women, organizations, look what Islam states about women. They only meant that they are like a, what you call form which should be cultivated like that. That's nothing. That is the status which, it is not like that. 223 ayah, Al-Baqarah. It says, Nisaukum hars British lakum. Nisaukum, I will get a better print. Hars lakum. Hars means farmer. Hars means farmer. That your women are tilth for you. In English, tilling the field. The tiller is a farmer, you understand? So when this was sent down, so people didn't bother to find out Asbab al-Nuzul, cause the revelation. So they just went forward and say, oh, look, what Islam compares a woman with a tilling field. That's all. We are not. Though they do not know what the church talks about a woman. Allah have honored woman. The whole chapter Surah Nisa is on the Holy Qur'an. Allah has cleared her position that the Satan not only caused her to slip, but he made both of them to commit mistake, and Allah forgave them. That's the beauty of Islam. No, he has honored woman, gave her inheritance, gave her honor, status. And Holy Last Messenger, the light of Holy Quran said, the paradise lies under the feet of mother. What else you can say? But where are these women organizations who are so active, bringing disgrace to women all over the world? What happened to the women in Western countries? They die miserably alone in a woman's home. Their sons and daughters do not know where they are. Not in Islam. This is the reason please try to understand, because you have to do your own research. When this was sent, your woman, your wives are, tilth for you. So it was happened that when Mecca people migrated to Medina, did Hijrah, the Quraysh, and then it is from Ibn al-Munkadar, heard Sayyidina Jabir ibn Abdullah say that Jews used to say that if at the time of the man goes to his wife, a man approaches his wife from behind, then a squint-eyed child shall be born to him. So Allah revealed the verse, your women are a tilth for you to bring forth the children, so go to your tilth as ye will. And this is also a similitude. You understand? The tilth is used. Allah is very indirect in matter of, such thing as, he say, in Ramadan, you are allowed to, touch your wives. He doesn't say, like the Bible says, that you go and do this. No. It's just like that. This was narrated by Bukhari on the authority of Abu Naim, on the authority of Sufyan. Muslim narrated this from Abu Bakr ibn Abi Shayban on the authority of Sufyan. On the authority of Mujahid, who said, I discussed the Holy Quran with Ibn Abbas 3 times. From the opening chapter up to the end, I would make him pause at each ayah and question him about until he reached the verse, your women are tilth for you, so go to your tilth as ye will. Ibn Abbas said, this is about the quarter of the Quraysh. This is about the quarter of the Quraysh back in Mecca. They would marry women and then seek pleasure with them by having, sex with them from front and behind. Committing adultery, unnatural, and this thing. When they came to Al-Madinah, the same people, when they went to Medina, they wedded women from Ansar. When they went unto them to do as they did in Mecca, their women denied them, refused them, saying, we are not used to that. The news spread until it reached the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this verse, that your women are tilth for you. So go to your tilth as ye will, meaning thereby, you can't abuse them. You can't just take them as mean of seeking sexual pleasure from any side. No, you can't do that. If you please, you may approach them from front or from behind or while say, and this implies approaching them in a manner which is likely to beget a child. Yes, you can go to a husband can go to his wife, provided in a way that he gets a child. There is no other way. This was did by Al-Hakim. So this was, Jews were doing all that, and they are the founder of this perversion, which we know, So, so now you understand that those people who do not know the background of this ayah, they will say, what is Muslims, think about this woman. So you have to know the background. I can't, but I tell you, that if you buy some Holy Quran translation with commentary, like I pointed to you, they will explain to you all that. And there are books now, alhamdulillah, available in America. This book is available. And this explains the reasons of revelation in Quran Kareem. There's a lot more, but you can buy this book and you should understand that. That's not a simile of the Holy Quran. Allah Ta'ala used many similes, like a mosquito, ankabut, what you call the spider, meaning thereby the strategies, plans, and all the beliefs of the polytheist are like the weakest, like the nest of ankabut, which is the weakest of all. Understand? And then he uses لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل رأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. In this simile, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tell us the might and power and awe of Holy Quran. That it is His mercy that we can read Holy Quran, memorize Holy Quran, contain in our hearts. On the other hand, Allah says, had He sent down this Holy Quran on the mountain, a mountain would fall apart with fear of Allah. But heart of a believer, Mu'min and Mu'minah contain Holy Quran. You understand? This thing Allah plans, or He gave you the simile. So next is abrogated and abrogated. This is, I'm telling you in brief, The Holy Quran, Allah sent down gradually in 23 years to reform a society of pagans, totally ignorant, something you can't find such people on the face of earth. Allah took time. First tried to bring them together and told them they should clean themselves, purify themselves, and then don't eat haram food, don't, eat blood. Then he tells them these animals are haram. Then he says, you should not go to nearest, you should not make salat. Antum sukra. Sukra means when you are intoxicated. But later on, when the society developed, they are more educated. Holy Quran is more giving them information. Then command come that liquors and drinking, khumriyat, totally haram. So that day Medina Munawwar was flowing with the broken pit, pitchers and jugs, thrown in the street full of wine and liquor. For all the time, forbidden. So that's what happened. That ayah command, which told them, don't go near the salat when you are intoxicated, that was abrogated by that command which forbade drinking liquor for all the time. You understand? That is called Nasakh wal Mansukh. Nasakh means the canceller, abrogator, or Mansukh mean cancelled or abrogated. Then there are ambiguous ayat and quotes in the Holy Quran, many. Like Alif Lam Mim, Ta Sin Mim. These are the, Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Al-Imran, I believe, that meaning of these are only known to Allah and those who are in depth, in knowledge, have knowledge in depth, like Hazrat Ibn Abbas. Then there are many things which we read in Holy Quran but we cannot understand, like Allah says, Ar-Rahmanu al-Arsh Astawa. He created the earth, the world in 6 days, and then he sat in his throne, in Arsh. Now we do not know. You see, we do not know what type of throne. Was it a throne, or it is in his might and knowledge by which he says that? Was throne a physical, made of gold, diamond, and did he sit there like king sits? We have no idea, no information. But it is there in Holy Quran, so we call it ambiguous. The meaning are ambiguous. Therefore, there are properties we call there are properties of Quran. Holy Quran has many properties. I told you, it has healing. Allah says, وَنُنَزِّلُ بِالْقُرْآنِ وَهُوَ شَفَاءٌ. We have sent down the Holy Quran, other than that, we sent down Shafa in that. The healing for the mu'mineen. For the mu'mineen. And when it is said, Rasulullah said, that there is Fatiha as healing for everything save death. So, I have already explained that based on Rasulullah's treatment he gave to people, so I gave the demonstration. I gave the demonstration of the power of Holy Quran, being Khawasul Quran, in healing incurable mental and physical diseases in Taif, in a research institute. Holy Rasul healed one patient suffering from, total craziness, madness, with 34 ayat of Holy Quran. And I use those, and I'm successful in healing many people in front of psychiatrists from, England, France, Sudan, Cairo, Pakistan, England, and other visiting doctors. And they gave me title of Imam al-Quran. The Saudis gave me title of that thing. It is in the book, which I might have shown it, I do not remember. But it is there written. Similarly, there's the wonders of Quran. There is no end to the wonders of Quran. So ladies and gentlemen, Allah bless you. Pay attention to Holy Quran. This is your only refuge. Your only refuge. This is just few remarks for you. That when you read Holy Quran, first, because you have entered the age which is end time. End time, I will I will let you know one incident which I have mentioned before. And I must say that because of the hadith of Rasulullah, which is mentioned here in the Holy Qur'an, I must narrate an incident. Our specialty of our Qadriya spiritual order is that we take our followers before Rasulullah Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, not in a sleep state, in a full conscious state. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has his own place in Lahut La Makan, where the affairs of the world are decided. This is, again, with the Barakah of Holy Quran, people do make progress. This happened in 1971, when Pakistan was divided into two. Israel, India, and CIA and Iran all joined hands in dividing this Pakistan. They caused insurgency in East Pakistan, the way are doing it now in Swat, same way. And eventually, the army became absolutely exhausted, helpless, and most unfortunate thing happened in the history of Islam, that our army fell victim of a conspiracy for which it was not prepared. So at that time, I had one follower who was Deobandi, but he loved Holy Quran. He was a Hafiz of Holy Quran, and he would go and give dawah to people Holy Quran. But Deobandi don't believe that you could see Holy Rasulullah, or they say, like Wahhabis, that he came and gone. However, he loved Rasulullah. He never told anybody, but I knew. So he got attached to me. So, in a nutshell, I'll just, because it is not my main topic, but I must tell you. What happened, Rasulullah appeared, and he was sitting on a high place, along with his family members and holy companions, angels, and there were thousands and thousands of people. Spiritually they were there, not physically. Living, and those walis and Sufis, and also those who are departed. And one person got up from the ijtima, we call gathering, and said, Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, armies of India have entered Pakistan. So when this was said, the Holy Prophet ﷺ held his forehead and put his hand like this, and his face became red with grief, and tears fell from his eyes. Everybody in that ijtima or the gathering, wept with grief. What has happened to the country which was raised in the name of Islam, the name of Allah? And after that, Rasulullah raised his head like this, and he spoke in Urdu, but it was exactly like the way he would speak in Arabic. His manner style was same, Arabic, which we don't use in Urdu. He says, should not I tell you, I'm translating it, may I not tell you that this time you were not helped? Meaning thereby, in 1965, when India attacked us, we were helped. That we were not helped this time, shouldn't I tell you why you were not helped this time? In your country, the messengerhood of mine was mocked. The holy companions were insulted. And a word is used, I will use same word, so you become witness and say that we heard this from Shah or from me. The words of Rasulullah he uttered, and he said in his language, he said, Ulama ki tamane haq mein mubtala ho gaye. Ulama ki tamane haq, kitam in Arabic means concealing. Haq means truth. Ulama is plural of alam. The religious scholars started concealing the truth, wavered. And officials started living a life of luxury. Women became disobedient to their husbands. Adultery, perversion, fahashi, lewdness, waywardness became order of the day. Therefore, O people, I tell you that you should seek forgiveness for Allah. And then he recited one. Otherwise, he will send wrath upon you of nifaq. Nifaq is dissension. And he recited an ayah, which I have here. وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْكُمْ خَاصَّةً. Fear of that fitna, of that, trial, that adverse thing which will happen to you, which will not, the azab, which will not only be limited to the oppressor, meaning thereby oppressed and oppressor both will be wiped out. He said, seek Allah's forgiveness. Seek Allah's forgiveness. And believe me, ever since we have been asking people, oh people, seek Allah's forgiveness. He will forgive your sins. He will send rain from heaven. He will irrigate your crops and gardens. He will give you sons. He will give you prosperity. But nobody listened. Nobody listened. And then Rasul said, when this will happen, what he said, then what will happen? In your hearts, mutual hatred and dissension will be put. Adultery, waywardness, and anti-Islamic things will be considered quite all right as part of the culture. And anybody virtuous, noble amongst you at that time, his dua will not bear any, result. People will leave good conduct and they will follow bad. And they will kill their own people, the men and women, for the sake of the West, for the Kafirs. everywhere there will be dishonesty, and there will be Nur Iman. The person, he says, that then there will be rulers, they will be enforced upon them. Then he said, you at that time, end time, which is this time we're talking, this time, you will behave like Jews and Christians. Nay, more than them, but worse than them. You will fight, mutually you will fight on the matters of deen, and the founder of this mutual, bloodshed and fight will be the mullahs, ulama. They will become the worldly people. The Christians, they will be dominant in the entire world. They will have wealth and children, and they will be dominant. And they will drive you out from your village to village, and such mischief will take place that people will be shocked. Such people will rule who will be blind of intelligence, deaf and dumb. Rasulullah said, my ummah, that the tribes of my ummah, they will join hand with the polytheist. They will, the way this, the Arabs are joined hand with polytheists. And this will go on all these things, he said, will keep on happening till Imam Mahdi will appear. He will lead the Muslim towards salvation and victory. This is, therefore, the only remedy is the end time. And regarding Imam Mahdi, the Holy Qur'an is before me. I say he is present in this world, and he has been seen, and he will appear in a couple of years because he is not 40 years old yet. I bear witness to the fact. I can't disclose everything, but I have faith. So if you hold fast the rope of Allah, make Holy Qur'an your guide and your help, this is the rope of Allah. Holy Qur'an is the rope of Allah. Hold it. Don't do anything which forbids you. And do what you have been told. Don't afraid of, and because this is the end time, the Kafirs, and particularly the Nasara, they are dominating. There is no doubt about that. And this happened due to these ulama and corrupt kings of Muslim countries. It says, some said it will happen due to the corrupt kings and rulers of Islam and ulama, scholars who will sell their iman. This had happened, this is happening. Therefore, you can't trust any alim, you can't trust any peer or sheikh, you can't trust anybody. Only trust Allah. Have your full reliance upon Allah. Allah says, فَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبَهُ. Whosoever will have full trust and faith in Allah, Allah is sufficient for him. As he said, whosoever will have Allah's awareness, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ, Allah's awareness, not that you should fear Allah, no. You must be reminded of Allah. Who is reminded of Allah? In a way, I told you that He, وَمَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ, wherever you are, He is there. وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. If I say that my Allah is not watching me at this time, that I am not sitting before Him, I will become a kafir. If I say that He is not hearing right now what I'm saying, I will become kafir. This is a message full of nur, full of guidance, bearing mercy and promise of salvation and ultimate success for you and for all those who will see this with sincerity and follow the command and advice. They will be saved. Because the world is undergoing such changes, such incidents are happening which had never happened before. Therefore, there's a lot I can add, but this is a message, an introduction of Holy Qur'an, an introduction in a way that is a rope of Allah. Hold fast, firmly, put it on your teeth. Don't leave it. Because the Prophet said, a time is coming. Also, this is the time, about this time, he said, the person will perish because of his wife and children, because of his parents. If he has no parent, his wife and children. If he has no wife and children, his brothers and sisters, yes, Ya Rasulullah, how it will happen? He said, he will be earning quite all right, but they would taunt him for less income, less facilities. He will go and commit haram ways and bring a lot of money, and that will be his destruction, because he will lose Iman. The parents will say, go and earn, and they won't care from where he brings. This is exactly happening now. If there are no parents, the wife will say, I want VCR, I want fridge, I want TV, I want car, go and bring it. So he will do the measurement, he will sell his soul, he will become mother seller, he will sell the country, his own country. Don't be afraid of anybody. Fear Allah, He is with you all the time. He is nearer to you than your jugular vein. He is nearer to you than your thoughts. And remember Him. Do His zikr. Do His zikr. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Illallah, 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 Allah. Allahu, 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 Allahu. Read Durood Sharif. Do His zikr in the morning. Remember Him walking, sleeping, talking, everywhere. Just remember Him. The time you forget Him, that time you are at lost. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Ya Rabbul Alameen, this is a humble effort by which your message has been delivered to your servants. Ya Allah, open their hearts, make them easy to understand, make them easy to follow it. Ya Allah, save them from the atrocity, oppression of the, polytheists, all those Yahud, Hanud, Nasara, who wish to eliminate Islam from the globe, and they wage war all over. Ya Rabbul Alameen, your war. Help your servants. They have wronged themselves, but they say, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min az-zalimin. Ya Rabbul Alameen, of course, the people have wronged themselves, they've gone astray, but still they are your servants. Save them, help them. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا وإنك أنت التواب الرحيم.